From a legal point of view, there was not enough evidence to prove 100% without doubt that that was Vybz Kartel on the actual stream.
Just like on YouTube, figure your brain some new food.
Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today's question is, how dumb is Vybz Kartel? But before I get into it, let me address some of the dedicated, die-hearted Vybz Kartel fans, because I know that Vybz Kartel has two kinds of fans, you know, some of an intellectual level and some that's way beneath intellectual level. I'm about to address the ones that are way beneath the intellectual level, because I'm about to say something about the world boss, aka Vybz Kartel, that most of you may not like. And if you comment in rejection of what I'm saying using any form of profanity, I'm going to delete your comment. So if you want your comment to stay that's in rejection of mine, keep all the profanity out of it. I don't want to read anybody on my channel saying suck, go and put our bum, our blood, or anything of that matter. Y'all can keep that out of the vocabulary. So if y'all want to comment, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. You can even insult me if you like, but do not put any profanity on my channel. Now that I've got that out the way, the question still remains, how dumb is Vybz Kartel? Recently, there's been allegation that Vybz Kartel streamed live from prison on Instagram from his cell. And the question I have to ask is, if it's true, how dumb is Vybz Kartel? Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of Vybz Kartel, but I do listen to some of his music. I've heard pretty much all of his music, and some of them I just knocked it out the ballpark and says, lyrically, that is foolishness. And then there are other Vybz Kartel music that I say, yeah, thumbs up, I can rock to that. And me and my wife often jam to some of Vybz Kartel music. Vybz Kartel and I have one thing in common. We attended Calabar High School. Calabar High School has a reputation of its motto, the utmost for the highest. It means that 90% of who leaves Calabar, whether by graduation or spent a few years there, are expected to be educated and someone who has a sustainable IQ, so to speak. So giving Vybz Kartel his credits for his lyrics, I could see where someone like him was at one point admitted in Calabar. In other words, Calabar don't usually accommodate dunce. So from the door, I know Vybz Kartel is not a dunce, but he is dumb if this is true, that he streamed live from his cell in prison. Vybz Kartel was sentenced to life, and according to his sentencing, Vybz Kartel has to serve a minimum of 35 years before being considered for release or parole. I believe Vybz Kartel already been in prison for 6 years. I've followed Vybz Kartel case as someone who is interested in law and someone who is interested in legal proceedings and due process in Jamaica. And for that reason, I've followed Vybz Kartel case. And Vybz Kartel's lawyer or lawyers has been busy over the last few years trying to get Vybz Kartel out of prison on technicality or mishandling of evidences in the preliminary stages of his case. And I was 100% supportive of Vybz Kartel lawyers' efforts, because from a legal point of view, I see where Vybz Kartel could actually beat the case on technicality, because one of the police officer, after evidences were submitted in Vybz Kartel case, which was a mobile phone, one of the police officer tampered with evidence by either using it to make personal calls or personal texts. And I thought that Vybz Kartel case should either be dismissed or the burden of proof should be lightened if indeed a police officer did tamper with what is being said to be the key evidence. So on the legal side of things, I am always supportive of anybody that's fighting a case, especially where the state itself does not have enough evidence or burden of proof is concerned. So it's not being a fan of Vybz Kartel while I'm in support of that. I'm just in support of justice. And I understand that justice is blind. I'm not saying Vybz Kartel is guilty or Vybz Kartel is innocent. For me, it doesn't really matter. What matters to me in this particular case is burden of proof. Anyway, this vlog is definitely not about Vybz Kartel's murder case and his sentencing. This is about Vybz Kartel's status in prison and what he is doing. As everybody would guess or would speculate, celebrities, not only in Jamaica, but celebrities worldwide tend to get extra privilege while they are being incarcerated. So when it came to Vybz Kartel being in prison in Jamaica, I have no proof of this, but I would just guess that he is having extra privilege in comparison to other inmates who are not celebrity. That's pretty much how these things goes. When you're in prison and you're a celebrity, the warden or the correctional officers, they often will give you extra privilege because you can actually do something for them. However, these privileges are only for a certain amount of time. What I'm trying to say, the minute Vybz Kartel become broke, all these privileges are over and done, and he will just be another inmate. At the moment, Vybz Kartel is obviously not broke because it has been alleged that Vybz Kartel had a mobile cell phone with internet connection in his possession. Here's the thing. I have seen the stream on Instagram. I had a chance to see a little bit of it. So I'm going to speak in two ways. I'm going to speak from accusing Vybz Kartel of being guilty and being on the actual stream, and I'm gonna also speak on it from a defensive point of view in regards to where Vybz Kartel is concerned. Because after seeing the video, I must be honest and say that it can only remain an allegation. From a legal point of view, there was not enough evidence to prove 100% without doubt that that was Vybz Kartel on the actual stream. So that's my legal point of view, saying at the moment it is news. I mean, with the pandemic that's going on, it's kind of a break in the kind of news that's being published in Jamaica. A bit of a diversion from the pandemic news. So yeah, legally speaking, if that is the evidence, if what I saw was pretty much the evidence that Vybz Kartel is alleged to have been doing live streaming while in prison, from a legal point of view, it is weak. The voice sounds like Vybz Kartel, but then again, anybody can sound like Vybz Kartel. From a non-legal point of view and accusing Vybz Kartel of being the one on the actual stream, I would just say, world boss, you're an idiot if you're gonna be in prison and pushing your privileges to the level that you have where you think I can actually go on live stream on the World Wide Web and Instagram and share my voice so people can know that I'm not just in prison, but I'm living my best life in prison. Come on now, that's idiotic. I mean, like I say before, from screening Vybz Kartel's appeal and the arguments that I've read, you know, I'm not very close to the case, so I've not read any real intimate documents of the case. I've only read what's been published in the newspaper. And from reading what I read, Vybz Kartel has an opportunity, a 50-50 chance of appealing this case and walking free if his lawyers know what they're doing. But if you're going to be in prison, making the Jamaica correctional system look like it's a joke, these things can work against you, world boss. These things can definitely work against Vybz Kartel because it is showing that the Jamaica correctional system has weak areas. I mean, most Jamaicans already come to the conclusion that it does, especially when it comes to celebrity inmates, but nobody wants to prove that as being a fact. So my question still remains, how dumb is Vybz Kartel if that was actually him on the Instagram streaming? Answer that question for me, people. At the same time, feel free to defend it from my legal standpoint to say there was no evidence of Vybz Kartel actually being on the live stream. Like I said, the video that I saw showed a rapper artist by the name of Russian, and the alleged Vybz Kartel was supposed to be on the other section, which was pretty much a dark screen, so didn't really see a physical view of Vybz Kartel. However, after the allegation was made, his cell was raided, and it has been factual that a cell phone was found in his cell. So what will happen now is obviously those technical people with mobile devices will investigate and review the phone, and it can be revealed whether or not that device was linked to Instagram Live at that alleged time. So I guess we have to just stay tuned. But if you're a fan of the World Boss and he actually streamed live while he was in prison, you have to agree, fan or no fan, that was an idiotic move. That's pretty much all I have to say today about this one, people. Once again, I wait to hear the comment. Easy with the profanity. Try to insult me if that's your intention, using some articulation of the English language or even patois. I can read patois. So that's it, people. As you know, on my channel, I accept thumbs up and I accept thumbs down. I accept agreement and I accept disagreement, because at the end of the day, people, each one teach one. Until next time, peace.